Hi guys. So today we're doing a pick a card all about the full moon energy that's going on actually tonight, and the full moon is technically tomorrow, but there's a lot of energy with full moons, and they generally kind of stick around for 3 or 4 days. This full moon is actually 4 days, so that's awesome. So it's a really great time to put out your, if you have any crystals, if this is an amethyst, and this is a zeolite, I will probably be putting these out there tonight just to get a little bit of extra loving from the full moon and clear them out. It's really good for cleansing, and it's really good for just, helping your crystals charge. My husband always calls them, he puts it, oh, we got to put them out and, get them recharged because they need new batteries. He thinks he's so funny, but, well, he's funny, but just don't tell him I said that. So we have 3 cards here. It's full moon energy. It's for the strawberry moon, which is really, it's a heavy one. It's really powerful in the sense where full moons are always about, bringing the darkness to light and just revealing what is going on and what is below the surface, and especially with us who are doing anything with healing or anything with energy work. It really does bring up a lot of trauma, stuff that you haven't dealt with, and it kind of puts it right in your face, and it's an opportunity for you to really confront it and deal with it. So this is what's going on, and that's really what this reading is about, to help you kind of understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling, and what you should do. Like, this is divine guidance letting you know, like, hey, this is there's a purpose behind all of this. So we have 3 cards, or 3 piles, excuse me. And basically, this full moon energy reading is all about, what do you need to really focus on? What do you really need to overcome? I'm feeling a lot of energy already, so you have to excuse me, and I'm a little overwhelmed and already receiving messages. So this one's gonna be, I feel it. This is gonna be a reading. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So again, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So just to, take your time or go with just feels right. I tend to just go with my intuition. I usually tend to hear a number immediately in my head and like, oh, that's for me. So let's get started. So pile 1, I'm gonna start with you guys. I'm using 2 decks today. It's the 10 of Wands. I hope you can see. The Queen of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. Actually, I'm gonna move these up here. Don't worry, I won't mix up the piles. There we go. Then we have the Abundance from the Chakra Oracle deck, which is a newer deck for me, and I'm really loving. So immediately when I look at this, I'm looking at someone that definitely feels like overworked. You're exhausted. And you're feeling kind of like no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get ahead, certainly financially. You're feeling really like you have all these great ideas, and you tend to really struggle with finishing projects. And you have sometimes you can be a little frivolous with money, and it's telling you that you really need to stop digging such a deep hole for yourself. You need to really be a little bit more wise with your money. You really need to really plan better, budget better. It's really holding you back here. The amount of stress that comes with financial issues. Like, people always say that money doesn't buy you happiness, but let's be honest here. It certainly takes a lot of the pressure away, a lot of the stress away otherwise. So it's crazy to me, because I'm looking at this and I see somebody, the Queen of Swords, who's incredibly wise and really is good, has the potential to really, really do this and have a very abundant lifestyle, but you are not making good decisions. Instead of going out and eating McDonald's, for lunch every day, you need to pack your lunch, because right there you're saving a ton of money. It's just the thing is, I keep hearing plan. You need to plan better. just in life, but especially with your finances. If I don't know, maybe you grew up in a family that didn't have a lot of money, or and so now every time you get a little bit of money, you're just like, whoa, this feels great, and I want to go buy this, and then all of a sudden, your rent's due, and you're like, well, crap. But then on the other side of the coin, a lot of times people come from affluent families, and here they are, and they just don't have no idea, because money has just never been an issue. They've never had to go out and plan, and I think especially with this climate right now, we have to be especially wise with our money, and especially wise with where we choose to spend our money. That's pretty much what I'm getting. I'm getting that you're feeling very overwhelmed, but you've dug this hole yourself, and that if you really want to dig yourself out, you've got to make better choices. You've got to plan. That is how that's how people are successful in life. It's because they take the time to plan. It's not a crapshoot. They don't just roll the dice and get that lucky number. This isn't a casino. This is our life. So that's what I'm getting for you. I'm gonna leave it there. It's you really just got to learn to plan better with your finances, and just in life in general. But right now, if you're feeling the pressures, you've got to hold yourself accountable and take a step back and reevaluate where everything's being put. Your time, your money, your energy. It's not serving you well, and it's time to make drastic changes. So that's for you guys, group 1. I'm going to move on here to group 2 here. So for group 2, we have the Justice card, 4 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and then the Chakra Oracle card. We have Isolation and Bittersweet. I feel strongly right here, you're not feeling good about some decisions you've made in your life. You're waiting for this new energy and passion, and you're waiting for new beginnings as far as just feeling better, just feeling like everything's going to be okay. But what you don't understand is that things aren't as bad as you think. Sometimes, especially if you're a parent, you have to make these decisions that don't feel so great, but they're for the greater good. A good example is, if you had a rough day at work, and you come home and you see your little baby girl run up to you at the front door, and she's just the happiest thing in the world, if that doesn't give you joy because you're still focused on how that day at work sucked, you're missing out on big things here. You don't even see that you have all of this new energy right in front of you. You have all of these great things, and it's not like you've just been given a sore or the short end of the stick, excuse me. It's you're not seeing what's going on right around you. It's like, you see this guy right here. He's bought this beautiful tux, but it's hanging up in his closet. He's probably so afraid to wear it out in public that he just leaves it in his closet, because he's just like, well, it's this beautiful thing and I don't want anything to happen. You got to live your life. You can't allow, things like that to hold you back. You have this beautiful woman right here who's giving someone a cake, and this person is so sad. They're stuck in their head. They don't even see the beauty or the love or the gratitude that this other person has for them. And it's so sad because they're so stuck in their head that they're missing this beautiful, sweet moment. And then it's difficult. I don't know how else to put it other than you can't allow all the sadness and the darkness to overshadow the light. That's what it comes down to. It's because you're letting the darkness win. It's that simple. At the end of the day, if you have a cup and it's half full, why would you want to look at it half empty? Because you're only doing that to yourself then. You keep isolating yourself and holding back because you're feeling so crappy, but it's up to you to get out there and, enjoy life. Look around you, see tonight we had the most beautiful full moon, and I'm sitting there And, I'm like, oh man, I got to get the kids in the bath and we got to do dinner and I'm feeling stressful. And then all of a sudden I look outside because my son said, Mom, why is the sky pink? I was like, what? So I go outside and it was just magnificent. And, I catch myself sometimes because I know that, a lot of times I can blow my kids off because, I'm so focused on, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. But I'm so happy and I'm grateful that in that moment, I put all that aside and I went outside with my kid and it was beautiful and it was great. And I got to share that moment with him and, he asked questions about the full moon and I got to teach him why we call it the strawberry full moon. It's the strawberry full moon because the Native Americans and, hundreds of years ago, the locals would, well, in America that is, it was strawberry season. And, strawberry season's not a very big season. It's not a very long season. It's pretty short. If you've ever grown strawberries, like how quickly, like one day they're beautiful and you're waiting for them to firm up perfectly. And then the next day you come out and they're complete mush. Yeah, strawberry season can be great, but stressful. And, you have just this short little window to do a whole lot of powerful work. And that's literally what's going on right now. That's what we're dealing with. And it's like this bum rush of everything coming to the surface. You've got to deal with it. You've got to confront it. Or you can bury your head in the sand and pretend like it's not there, but that's not going to do anything for you. So, you're feeling pretty crappy for stuff, but you're looking at life with this glass half full, or excuse me, half empty instead of half full. And you're missing out, man. You're missing out, and you need to go live. Look around you. There are so many things to be grateful for. I don't know if you have kids, but, just knowing that I make my kids smile to me is pretty powerful stuff. I planted some seeds and they're sprouting. That's pretty great. I'm like, my husband makes fun of me because I get so excited and I'm like, he's like, you're a master waterer. I'm like, you know what? You're a dick. Excuse me, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of have the mouth of a sailor, but it is, as you get to know me, you'll see. So yeah, that's your reading. The glass is half full, people. I'm not even suggesting at all that it's easy, but if you want to wake up and feel better, that's what you got to do. All right, guys, let's move on to the last group. Group 3. Woo! We have the 10 of Cups reverse. Y'all are killing me. I'm originally from Philly, but I've been living here in the South for a few years. And my accent goes in and out. It's a little special. And then my father is from New York, so I'm just a whole mess. Okay. We have the 10 of Cups in reverse, the 6 of Cups in reverse, the Emperor. Then with the Chakra Oracle, Wisdom Oracle cards, we have Miracle and Perseverance. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. This guy is sitting here, he's a pretty... The Emperor is such a stoic, masculine, very wise, just, he's got everything going for him. You know what I mean? But in the back of his head, he's thinking about some really sad past heartbreaks, and it's almost like they're haunting it. It's haunting him. The past, these heartbreaks, these betrayals, these old memories of just complete disappointment and heartbreak. I'm hearing childhood trauma. I'm hearing that, divorces. I'm hearing relationships that fell apart and families being ripped apart. I don't know if that could be from your childhood or maybe a previous marriage. I don't know. But there's a lot of trauma related to that you have not dealt with. Or some of you haven't dealt with it, but some of you're starting to, and you're starting to see how much it really does affect you every day, and you're putting in the work. And what you have to understand is that it's not easy. Healing is probably one of the most difficult things anyone could possibly do. And it's a journey. You have your good days, you have your bad days, you have your good weeks, you have your bad months. It's so up and down, but you have to keep going. You can't stop because miracles happen. You just have to persevere. And a lot of times, you know, so many people give up and they don't realize that just around the corner, the universe is about to literally just put everything into place. And it's like, wow. If you had just taken that last hurdle, if you had just put that last a little bit of effort, like maybe you've been dealing things on your own and you're still not feeling 100%, but you decide that therapy just isn't for you. I can't commit that time to therapy right now because it's just too much. But what you don't understand is if you had gone to therapy and gone maybe even just once every other week, just for 6 months, that you probably could have really dealt with some stuff, because therapists are professionals. They know what they're doing. And a lot of people think it's just people sitting on the couch and just listening to you talk. It's not about that. I mean, yeah, you do a lot of talking, but a lot of a therapist give you tools on how to cope with crazy, horrible shit that you might have dealt with in your life, or, any mental health issues you might have. It's nothing to be you should never feel inferior because you've been through trauma. You should never feel inferior or bad about yourself because you were born with serotonin levels that are just not normal. It's not your fault. It's like a diabetic is diabetic because, they were born diabetic, especially if they're type 2, I believe. So what do? They take medicine. That's just what they do. They have to. It comes a point in your life when you have to just sort of woman up or man up and be like, you know what? Some crazy, horrible shit happened to me. It messed me up. Now what? Am I going to spend my entire life being haunted by this, being the victim? Or am I going to persevere and be receptive and open to miracles? The universe doesn't always give us what we want. The universe gives us what we need. And if it's not meant to be, the universe is going to do everything in its power to make whatever was the most uncomfortable situation you could possibly deal with, so that you get the chutzpah, the cojones, or whatever, to get up and change things. So it doesn't just get better because you want it to or you wish it to be. You have to make it better. And you can't stay in toxic environments or around poisonous people and expect things to be different, expect things to be better. You have to surround yourself with who you want to mirror. Like, you can't expect that if you hang out with a whole bunch of people who, lie and steal and do horrible things, that you're just not going to get sucked into that in any way. You are. It just is. If you're around a bunch of people that drink every night, chances are you're probably going to, get to a point where, I'm going to drink too. So you've got to work through your stuff, and you've got to put yourself in a position where you can do that. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and looking for different results. It's going to haunt you, and it is haunting you, and it's holding you back from miracles. So I'm going to leave it at that. Group 3, you got this. Let me know if this resonates with anybody. Just kind of went with it tonight. I'll put timestamps in the comments so it's easier to find your group. And I will also link my Facebook page in the comments as well. I'm really not good at this stuff, or I only started doing YouTube videos because I couldn't figure out how to post videos directly to Facebook. So yeah, I'm just doing this because it's fun. That's it, you guys. Until the next reading.